Introductory song. Make it up as I go. This is extremely embarrassing for me. So I'm just going to say that I'm going around the world on a motorbike. I'm going to ride something like 30,000 miles in I don't know how many days through a lot of different countries. Across Australia from Sydney to Perth, then from South Africa up through to North Africa into Egypt, and then taking the back road round through Eastern Europe, stopping at several places, and eventually landing up in Plymouth, England. I'll be bringing cameras. These ones. I'll be going on my own, so there won't be a cameraman. Everything will be filmed by me. There will also be no support vehicles. I'll be travelling around the world, linking up with myself at the borders, but really, the motorcycle will be on its own. Oh look, it's another bike episode, where I'm not actually riding a bike. For now. I'm just about ready to go, so I'm going to go over some of the things I've had to do and the loops I've had to jump through to get to where I'm going. Now, travelling around the world on a motorbike is a political nightmare, and you need a lot of paperwork to do it. So here's what I've had to bring to the table. A cute little Australia sticker to go on my number plate. I've had to renew my UK driving licence. It cost me £20. It lasts 10 years. Suck on that, Australia. Passport. 2 international driving permits. And most importantly, a carnet de passage. And this is basically a bike passport that signs you in and out of every country and leaves you with proof that you've done so. It's quite expensive, but Australia pretty much has the cheapest one in the world. This is $1,500. But in the rest of the world, it can cost you 5 times the value of your bike when it was new. Other things I've had to do are sort out my visas for various countries. Thankfully, I only need visas for 5 of the countries I'm travelling through, which are these ones. And it turns out some of these can be an absolute political nightmare. Especially this one, because they apparently don't recognise the carnet, which means that you need something called a TIP. Now this stands for Temporary Import Permit, which is basically what they've put in place because they've refused to accept a carnet. Now as the abbreviation implies, this is basically a money scam. They want you to put down a deposit of 500% of the bike when it was new. Now in this case, that's about 100 grand. And not many people have that kicking around. So this is going to be one of those deal with it when it happens situations. In here is nothing particularly amazing. One side for clothes, one side for everything else. And I also have this weird little knockoff Touratech thing that you would have seen in one of the first episodes. So all the tools and tyre repair stuff is in there. I also bought this fancy new jacket. It's got a pouch on the front. So I can carry my children around like an oversized marsupial. It also has a booty. A reflective and waterproof booty, so I can be stylish and dry. Much like the content of all my videos. Anyway, I think it's about time I left on this little escapade, don't you think? Because I have to be in Perth in 10 days. This is just to inject some artificial drama. It probably doesn't matter when I arrive. Anyway, I'm gonna leave. Starting tomorrow. Because I'm a builder. So today is my birthday, again. And once again, I am far enough away from home so that weirdos can't find out where I live and follow me and take pictures of me through the windows. Anyway, due to my fantastic video editing, I'm going to throw a picture of a map on the screen so I can show you what today's plans are. And I'm going this way, because I've been from Sydney to Melbourne several times, and it's not that fun. So I'm going to do the more interesting coastal route, and hopefully spend the night somewhere on this border between New South Wales and Victoria. And with any luck, I'll survive. It'll be quite interesting. And I won't break down. Because I've got, how many kilometers on this bike? 106,795. So that can be kilometer zero from now. But anyway, when I got this bike, it had 96,000 kilometers on it, and I've done 10,000 kilometers of testing, and nothing's gone wrong. So, fingers crossed, right? Because that always happens. Anyway, nobody wants to see some amazing shots of driving in cities because it's the worst thing you can possibly do. So what I'm going to do is show a few good shots of the journey on the way down, and then we're going to reach a campsite somewhere on the border.
Hey, up here.
Hi.
Are you MAB guy?
Congratulations. You found me. Well, this is that slightly famous bit of road that goes over the sea, because I think it was the old Pacific Highway, but that fell into the water, so they built this. Or something like that, not the old Pacific Highway. So basically where I am is here, which is that shot that I took on Stanwell Tops about 15 minutes ago. And I would have taken a drone shot to make it look lovely and cinematic, but it's bloody windy, and I'm sure my drone would either end up in that cliff somewhere or on that boat, so I'd rather not lose it on the first day. So now you know. Now naturally, being New South Wales, it's a little bit bipolar, and as is almost tradition in long distance travelling, it started to rain. A lot. But at least I got to test out my waterproof booty. Anyway, when I got a bit too soggy, I decided to retreat. To the gym. Now, seeing as I definitely worked out for a very long time and didn't just stand in the corner quivering and trying to get warm, it got quite dark. But seeing as it was slightly drier than it was before, I decided to press on to the Victoria border, when the first incident happened. So it's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. Sadly, a small bat just smashed into my windscreen here, squirted a load of blood in my face, and then slid down here when I stopped, landing in my bike beak. So sad. Anyway, as Ozzy Osbourne would say, don't let it go to waste. Fortunately, there were no more fatalities on this day. But unfortunately, finding a campsite you've never been to, when it's completely dark, is not the easiest thing in the world. So here's to hoping that the second day is a little bit better. I hope I'm not going to find any Hills Have Eyes monstrosities to eat my eyes in the night. This would be so much easier if it wasn't pitch black. That'll do. Hello, small animal thing. I'd say this is one of those I should have planned better moments. Because I'm here with crap food, sitting in my pants, in my tent, and I'm wet. Here's my dinner. What a great first night. Good morning, nobody. There was a tragedy in the night. So it turns out my professionally designed bottle holder thing is not so great. And all the coffee spilled out as I was riding because of this little rivet. Still got the annoying sharp bit on it, so I'm gonna have to file that down. Anyway, that's annoying. Breakfast. Thankfully, it was a little bit drier this morning, so I thought I'd try learning a new skill. And this skill is flying a drone while riding a motorbike. Looks pretty successful so far, right? Well, as is tradition with this YouTube channel, drones do not have the best life cycle. And this is no exception. This is what OSHA would call a near miss. And thankfully, the drone lives to fly another day.
Well, I think today is a little bit better than yesterday. I can actually see blue sky. Now I've concluded that the way you deal with suffering through trips like this is to wear yourself out so much that sleeping in your soggy little tent feels like a haven. And I think yesterday I managed that. So all I have to do is keep up the trend, push yourself until you want to die, and then you can crawl into your soggy little pit. Because today I feel fantastic. Even though I've only had coffee and about 2 hours sleep, I don't care. Anyway, seeing as I'm doing this East Coast run south using Anytime Fitness as stops, my next one is in about 250 kilometers. Now people might ask, what's the difference between New South Wales and Victoria? Well, so far the only difference I've noticed is that all the signs are trying to convince you to sleep. Trouble concentrating? Power nap now! Droopy eyes? Power nap now! It's not very nice. Rest and stay alive. Open your eyes. Fatigue kills. Alright, fine, I'll listen. Just a word for the wise. If you're going to be using gyms as shower stops when you're riding your motorbike around the country, never train legs. Because right now I have jelly leg syndrome, and this feels horrendous right now. Anyway, campsite. Hopefully has phone signal. If it doesn't, yep. I guess the good bit about this is that I'm not 5 foot tall and 60 kilograms, so I don't need 3 people to lift up my bike for me. Take that, Ewan McGregor. Right, so I'll be the first to admit I've done quite a bit of dirt biking in my life, not so much touring bike riding. And I used to laugh at the guys who drop them all the time on slightly sandy little corners, like this. But the truth is, it's bloody nails. You've literally got to steer with the rear on a bike that weighs 350 kilos, when I'm used to doing it on a bike that weighs only as much as I do.
And now for the question on all of your minds. Am I faster at putting a tent together in the daylight? Let's find out. 5 minutes 42 seconds. Anyway, nobody cares about setting up tents. This is quite a scenic campsite. So how about you have a gratuitous drone shot? Today's weather is meant to be quite shit. There's a weather warning. Basically, 4 hours from now, it's set to absolutely piss it down with rain, and I'd rather not get stuck in that. So I've done what any hardcore bike traveller would do. I've booked a hotel. However, this hotel is in Sorrento, which is about 4 hours away. Will I make it in time? Let's find out.
Hey Frank, what's going on? This guy's a racist.
What?
Oh yeah, come on guys, let's go shoot lightning at old people.
Awesome.
Hey.
Hey puppy! You're definitely looking at me. So this weather's meant to be atrocious at about 1 PM, and I'm expected to arrive at 12:30. But by the looks of it, everything's fine. If this is a false alarm, I'm going to be a bit cross. Lacho was the only one. I gotta change it up because I might get a copyright strike. I don't know if that's a thing. She was everything.
Just got time for a couple of repairs. This one. And this one. You're about to see why the hotel was a marvelous idea.